My name is Tunu Jumwa, 0, Z with an I. I'm a bass player based in Nairobi and Kajiado. About 5 years ago, my dad bought my brother a guitar and it was new and shiny and mine was old. And I was jealous at first because, I'm the one who was interested in music. My brother, he wasn't into it. He was just saying because he was asked, what do you want me to buy for you, So after that, I asked him to teach me, and then on our comp, a lot of music that is on the computer is like bass oriented. So I had like some sort of inclination towards that instrument. So that's how I started playing. Music is a huge part of my life because I've grown up with music, and it helps lift up my spirit when I'm sad and things like that. One of my first influences and one of the reasons I started to play bass, apart from my being jealous and my brother was bought for a guitar, is a guy called Michael Pipoquinha. He's from Brazil, and he's pretty, when I started to watch him, he was pretty young and he was playing very well and expressing himself. So there's one particular video I just watched and I told myself, man, I have to play this instrument. So Michael Pipoquinha, Victor Wooten. I started watching Victor Wooten when I was 11. My dad came home with a video. Those days we didn't have YouTube, so I'm not that old. So he would bring videos. He would go download videos and then come home to show us. And it was Bass Days 98. That's the name of the video. And I remember when Victor was playing, I was like, hey, this guy. So I've been listening to him for now 11 years. And now I listen to everyone. I try to take some influence from a lot of people. Now I follow a bassist called Yannick Guzdala, Anton Davidians, Federico Malaman, Adam Niti, Braguinha. He's called Junior Braguinha from Brazil as well. Ricardinho Paraíso. There's a long list. Bill Dickens, a couple of other Americans and Kenyans as well. There's Mike Onyi, Gitoho, we were talking about Gitoho earlier. There's Isaac Kimeto. It's a long list. You'd have to call me for another interview to discuss that. My dad is the musician. I can imagine that growing up, he had the same aspirations as I do. And he plays a lot of instruments as well. He's pretty talented. He plays the keyboards, he plays a bit of drums, and then he's a producer. He plays the bass guitar. Any instrument you can imagine, really, pretty much. So growing up, he would play music around us. Jazz, he would practice a lot. And this is another story that he usually denies, but we used to stay at a very small house. And he would practice, or play, we had a computer on the other end of the room. So he would play music, and then on this other end, my mom and I would probably be watching soap operas, and you can't hear because my dad is practicing or listening to his music. So I remember deciding this one day. I told myself that, if you can't beat them, join them. So I forced myself to listen to music from, it was Lyritna at the time. I listened. You know, jazz is acquired taste. So until I started to enjoy it, and from that day onwards, man, jazz is heaven. Most of my dreams are driven by what I can do on the instrument. Because if you don't play the instrument, a lot of times you don't notice, but there's a way you can play and express yourself. The way I'm talking to you, we hadn't rehearsed that I would say these specific words. So that can happen on your instrument as well, where you're expressing yourself like the way you talk. Playing for me is still very conscious. I haven't got to a point where it's subconscious. So that is my dream. Sometimes, you know, I really work hard practicing, you know, reading and everything. And then sometimes you go to a gig and then you're not playing as well as the effort you've put in doesn't, you know, come out when you're playing. And that usually bums me out, and I come home and I'm pissed at myself, you know. So those are some of the bad moments. Other bad moments are when you're at a gig and then the sound is not very good, so you're playing and then nobody hears you. So that I usually really don't like that, when the sound is bad. And then other moments when I get so nervous before playing that it affects my playing. And sometimes there's times I've got so nervous that I forgot to put on my amp. Then I had to call the sound guys. I'm like, why is this thing not working? And then it turns out that I hadn't put it on, and then it looked like a dummy. So those are some of the low moments, but it's part of the process. I practice a lot. My dad can tell you he barely ever, especially when I'm at home, they barely ever see me, and they usually complain. But I don't have the luxury of having started playing music from when I was 2 or from when I was 4 years old. So I realized that I need to put in as much effort as I can now. So I practice a lot, literally almost all day, every day. But then again, I also enjoy to practice. And when I find myself not enjoying the practice, I totally stop and do something else. I watch a movie, you know, read or sleep or do anything else. So I practice a lot. I listen a lot as well. You know, that's part of practicing. You listen so you get ideas. I read a lot. A lot of people keep saying music is a talent, playing is a talent, but I don't believe that. I don't believe in talent, because I haven't experienced it. And I usually have this argument with my friends who say that people have natural abilities, which is true, but I have never experienced that. I work hard for even just, you know, playing that one note. one of the things I will never ever forget is getting a scholarship rather, to the Victor Wooten camp. Like I said, I've been watching Victor Wooten from when I was a child. So getting an opportunity to go and meet him, oh my goodness, that was a dream come true. And even now, because I went to Nashville for about a week and we had camps and lessons and things like that, up to today it still feels like a dream when I remember that experience. So that has to be one of the highlights of my life. And also now getting a custom bass built for me. My birthday is in January. I was in the market for a new bass and was pressuring my dad to buy me a bass for my birthday. So in the process of all that, I'd go online, look at different companies and write to them and ask them. And some of the companies I'd write to are very companies that I knew I wouldn't afford the bass at the time. So I wrote many different companies and some would respond and tell me, oh, okay, our bass costs 500,000 shillings. So I had also written to this company, Janeid. I wrote to him and asked him, how much would you build a custom-made instrument for? And so he sent me a catalog and I looked at it. But at the same time, the luthier, his name is Javier. He went to my Facebook page and social media and he saw a video I had posted. He really liked it and he wrote back to me and he told me, I would like to build you a bass. And so that's when he started building the instrument for me. It took about 1 year and I just realized, man, there are good people out there. So he made my dream come true with this instrument. It's completely handmade literally everything except maybe the strings and the tuners and the knobs. But he built everything, including the pickups. I'm definitely grateful, and that's part of why I really work hard, because sometimes I feel low, like I mentioned, when I practice and then you realize you're not playing as well as you should. Then this motivates me, remembering that this stranger from Spain, he could help a bunch of other people, and there are several other people who can play better than I do. But he decided to build a bass for me.